Hey, Viking fans, Brian Flores brought the Blitz at the Minnesota Vikings first night practice. Let's talk about it next in 3, 2, 1. Gather around, school brothers and sisters. This is Skull World, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Skull World. Let's go. Let's go. Make sure you click like, get me to 50 likes. I just got done my first giveaway. If go look at your alerts at the time this video, I should have already picked out the winner. So go look at your alerts and see if you were the winner. It's just the previous video that I recorded that will have the winner on it. I gave away a Jalen Naylor rookie card and Jordan Addison that will be on its way. Skull Vikings, we got the night practice. Everybody loves the night practice. We're having 2 this year. I watched people's reviews of the night practice, and Will Raggets again, winner, chicken dinner. I hate that saying, but I'm saying it anyways. Will Raggets an hour ago put out a article breaking down the night practice. I haven't read it yet, and that's what I do. I read them on air live. I've watched other people's videos. What they came away with the night practice, but Will Raggets breaks it down. I'm going to read it and you're going to read it with me and we're going to react to it. I'm excited. It's all defense. It sounds like now there's some offensive plays and some players stand out. So I'm going to go through the depth chart and tell you what I've heard people say, break it down. Uh, I've watched them, so you don't have to, kind of thing. So let's talk about it. Let's just bring it up. Let's bring it up. All right. We got Vikings training camp recap, day 8. Flores defense shines again at night practice. Brian Flores continues to bring the heat in practice, making life difficult on the offense. Will Raggets. I don't know why they have a Lions video here, but they do. Apparently this guy is going around to every single training camp. I guess he can. If they're in the Midwest, they're probably coming here. All right, Minnesota Vikings. Vikings held their first of 2 night practices at TCO Stadium on Thursday evening. They'll run it back on Tuesday. The later sessions, which have become an annual tradition, always seem to have a little extra juice. The lights come on, fans are closer to the action, and it just feels a bit more important, even if it realistically holds the same weight as a normal afternoon practice. This was a beautiful night for football. Here's Ben Lieber. Perfect night. Look at that picture. That's beautiful. Look how, man, I wish I lived in Minneapolis this time of year. I wish I did. Maybe I could. Nah, love it in Florida. All right. Oh, if you didn't notice, I want all the smoke this year. I bought my first anything ever Kirk Cousins. I've been called a Kirk stan. I was a detractor in 2018. He couldn't come back. He was throwing picks late in games with the 80 yards to go to one score games that he just couldn't get it done. And it was his fault. He would sack, fumble, or throw a pick, and I wasn't there for him. 2019, I think it was the Saints game that kind of brought him back to where I thought maybe this guy's got something. Started out weak in 2020. That was just poor. Adam Thielen was our number 1 receiver to start that season. Justin Jefferson came around, and then it took off. I just saw something in Kirk Cousins 2021. He had a lot of big comebacks. That defense was terrible. 2022, I'm sold. Kirk Cousins, good quarterback. 4th in passing, 5th in touchdowns. Let's go. I mean, we got an offense. We got weapons. Let's go. So let's talk about this video. But I want to know. I'm bringing the smoke this year. I want all the smoke. I got the jersey. Alexander Madison was full participant after getting a little banged up on Tuesday. Not practicing were Kenny Nwangu, Jalen Naylor, Marcus Davenport, Andrew Boo Jr., Tristan Jackson, 3-star players TJ Hawkinson, Daniel Hunter, and Brian O'Neill participated in individuals, but not team periods. that TJ Hawkins, Daniil Hunter, Brian O'Neill. I think this is a veteran type of rest situation. Daniil Hunter just hasn't been playing, practicing, so that's his excuse. Brian O'Neill coming off injury, but hey, he's participating, so that means he's healthy. I don't think he's going to get a lot. You're not going to see him in preseason games at all. You're not going to see him in these team activities yet. Just bring him along slowly. I don't care. We need him. TJ Hawkinson. I don't know what was with that one. There's not much said about it. But these others, Kenny Nwangu, Jalen Naylor, Marcus Davenport, Andrew Jr., and Tristan Jackson, all injured. Tristan Jackson apparently not as bad as people expected. People are starting to lose faith in Andrew Jr. He's losing out to Mekhi Blackman, who I had a hot take saying he was going to win the starting job. Looks like it. In that top three, he's going to be in that top three cornerback. Davenport, I don't know. I don't know about that one. Jalen Naylor, still nursing that injury. He's our number 4 receiver, flat out. Jordan Addison's number 2 or 3 now. So no worries there. No worries there. It's kind of panning out what it's supposed to. My hot take of Jalen Naylor, I already did my apology video. I don't need to apologize anymore to Jordan Addison. So Jalen Naylor, I had more yards than Jordan Addison. Nope, not going to happen. Jordan Addison is. Flores continues to bring the heat. Tuesday's practice recap centered around Flores' aggressive style of defensive, wreaking havoc. It was a similar story on Thursday night. The Vikings offense, starters, backups, even third stringers are still having a difficult time figuring out how to diagnose and protect against the variety of pressure looks Flores is bringing. This is great. Our offense is going to be fine. Our offense is going to be fine. Flores bringing the heat, confusing Kevin O'Connell. It just iron sharpens iron. That was the problem. Our offense was not playing against the best last year. They are now. Flores is bringing it. That is forcing Kevin O'Connell to adapt. That is what you want to see. That's why SEC teams kill it, because their defenses are deep. Their offenses are deep. They're always playing against the best. Their coaching's the best. If you got Ed Donatel playing shell defense every freaking practice in preseason, you're not prepared for the season. And we still have the 7th ranked offense. So, hey, I'm all for it. If the defense is winning right now, that is better than I expected. I'm pretty happy. Towards the end of practice, the starting units faced off against each other on a 2-minute drill. And just like 2 days earlier, the first team offense in major difficulty, even completing a pass without a defender getting an immediate unblocked path to Kirk Cousins. Harrison Smith, who got home twice on Tuesday, doubled up again. Harrison Phillips and DJ Wanham. Let's stop there. Harrison Smith, I predicted most sacks he's ever had is 3. I predicted 5 this year. 5, believe it or not. And he's already got 4 in 2 practices. All right, let's go. I'm loving it, man. It's exactly what we hoped for. I told him he's going to cement his spot in Canton this year. Harrison Smith. Book it. Harrison Phillips and DJ Wanham also ended up in the backfield in a series of few plays. The Vikings must have ignored at least 1 or 2 would-be sacks because Cousins hit Justin Jefferson for a big chunk to set up a Greg Joseph field goal. If this had been a real game, the offense might have only gone backwards. Then the second units came out, and it was the same story. Rookie safety Jay Ward got to Nick Mullins untouched on a blitz from the edge. 1 play later, Mullins tried to fit a ball into tight coverage, and it backfired in a big way. Theo Jackson popped Thayer Thomas at the catch point, deflecting the ball into the air in the hands of Jalen Williams, who ran it back for pick 6 and mobbed by the defensive teammates. Apparently, it's a big play in the practice. Everybody's talking about it. The defense is just relentless to the point where you wonder if Cousins and Kevin O'Connell might be getting frustrated by these results. In the end, though, it's only going to make them better. Just what I'm saying. It's only going to make them better. I'm excited to hear that our defense is killing it right now in practice. This is a 7th ranked offense in the league, and our defense is manhandling them with the blitz. Now, from what I've gathered, there were big plays still. because they got caught on the blitz, and that's going to be expected. CJ Ham apparently had a big play. Ty Chandler had a screen. These screen plays will, to compensate for the rush. Hopefully, we're being a little more creative with that, unlike the tight end screen from last year. But let's continue. The defense really has been a curveball at camp for me. Cousins said this week, how are we going to handle this pressure? How are we going to handle these fronts? How are we protecting them? I've been wearing out my quarterback coach in meetings asking questions. How do you want to block that? How do you want to block this? And probably to a fault where I'm trying to win in practice. And they got to remind me, hey, we don't play Flores defense this season. It's okay to have the occasional mix up because we're trying to get ready for week 1, not for August. That's true. I mean, you're not going to play this crazy ass blitzing defense every week, and you need to prepare for the defense you're going to play. So don't kick yourself for it. But in the same, we got to figure out if that's the way teams will end up playing us because we can't handle it. And those were the games like the Cowboys where we couldn't freaking handle, couldn't handle the rush. So hey, but week 1, we're not playing for August. So the offense is going to come around. But hey, who knows? This may scare the hell out of Kevin O'Connell and say, hey, we need to figure this out. Let's do it. Let's figure it out. Change your play calling. That's another thing. We're trying to run plays and you don't know what the defense is going to do. And you may have not called this in the middle of a game. You may not call this a regular game. And you're playing for that blitz and you adjust, that kind of thing. There's a lot to be said about that. That's why they only touch the quarterback and then let them throw it. And then you do that in practice. You don't crush the quarterback in practice. Obviously, that's why they wear the red jersey. So that's how it's being played. And of course, Kirk Cousins isn't the most mobile guy in the world. Pace gets run with the ones. This is the big thing. I was going to put him on the thumbnail, but Flores deserves to be. Vikings linebacker Ivan Pace Jr. is one of the most highly touted undrafted free agents signed by any team this year. He's lived up to the billing so far in the first training camp. Pace has been getting significant run with the second team defense, drawing praise from Flores and others. On Thursday night, he even got some reps with the starters. Pace feels like a great fit for Flores' scheme. The lack of size was the reason he didn't get drafted, but he was an ultra productive college player because he flies to the ball and makes plays during a red zone period with the twos. Pace showed off his downhill burst and body control by darting through the line of scrimmage for a sack. This is what we want, man. We were worried about our linebacker position, group. I am not so worried anymore because they're also saying Asamoah is killing it. We'll do a recap at the end. Linebacker Ivan Pace Jr. with a sack. Hopefully, I don't get screwed for this. All right. Can't play that or I'll get copyrighted too much. Flores certainly isn't going to discount him because he's 5'10", 230-pound linebacker. Ivan, he's a good player. He's got some ability. Flores said earlier this week, there's always that small DB who can play, small linebacker, small defensive tackle, but they got instincts. They've got ability that allows them to overcome some of the height or weight or whatever it is. All right. Great pickup. Quasi. I was talking last video or live video we did, and I said I wouldn't have been a problem with Ivan Pace Jr. being drafted in the 5th spot or 4th spot in our draft. That's it would have been a good draft pick, and we got him in as a UDFA. Solid. Pace isn't going to take a starting job from Jordan Hicks or Brian Asamoah anytime soon. But it'd be shocking if he's not at least on the 53-man roster as a backup. Special teams contributor. His future is intriguing. Rookie D tackle Jaquelin Roy flashed again on O-line D-line one-on-ones with a mean bull rush. I think it was described that he has heavy hands where he just driving people back, especially the backups, just driving them back. So that is a great thing to hear. That's encouraging, really encouraging, because I was really high on getting a disruptive defensive lineman with the first overall pick, trade down, first overall pick. That didn't happen. It was intriguing where we got him. So I'm pretty happy with this so far. Ports are good. That's great. With no Hunter or Davenport during the team period, Wanham and Patrick Jones too were the starting outside linebackers. Both had solid nights. They were generating pressure and setting effective edges against the run. I mean, we're not like these two guys, Wanham and Jones, are we thought were great, good backups. The fact that they're even succeeding in this defense, ah, man, it's got those are the little things. The depth even doing good, doing this defense with Flores. That is great. Glad to hear it. Here's one. Ty Chandler ripped off a legitimate big run at one point, not one where he would have been tackled by three different players, but ran a long ways anyways, and actually big play where he made a couple nice cuts and were never touched. Chandler's shifty. That I was worried about with Ty Chandler is that he wasn't a shifty lateral type of guy, but apparently he is. Glad to hear it. Apparently he is winning backup running back duties. Alexander Madison nowhere to be seen apparently. But Kenny Nwango being out and apparently McBride looking like just a guy right now. It is really making me excited that maybe I was wrong. That you know, well, I'm not excited about it being wrong, but maybe McBride isn't ready yet, and Ty Chandler is. And I was really high on Ty Chandler, who I said was the second best value we got in the year the draft the year before. Jalen Naylor being the number one. Um, but yeah, that's exciting, man. I would start buying all his rookie cards. Ty Chandler, thinking he's gonna be our next big guy. He is, I think, 25 though. Blake Prohl made a couple nice catches, including one in the back corner of the end zone where he narrowly got both feet down inbounds. This guy's gonna be on Star Search rather than the than the Vikings 53-man roster. But hey, he's a good guy, man. All the power to him. All the power to him. Each of the top three receivers, Jefferson, KJ Osborne, and Jordan Addison, had their moments as usual. This is looking good, man. These three guys, and then you throw in Naylor. Addison has an impressive bounce back red zone sequence where he toe tap for a touchdown in the back of the end zone and play after getting potential TD knocked away. Practice wrapped up with some reps from both kickers. Greg Joseph went 4 for 7, ouch, with two of his three misses coming from 50 plus. He also made two from that distance, including the 58-yard at the end of the night. Rookie Jack Podlesny made 3 of 4 attempts. Someone was wrong, said he made all of his, but Greg Joseph has the bigger leg. So I still think he wins this job, but last year he was perfect in this. In preseason, not so much tonight or last night, but hey. So let's just go down some of this depth chart. Apparently, and I'm gonna go quarterback. Kirk Cousins, he's obviously your starter. Nick Mullins and Jaron Hall apparently struggled and have been struggling. So well, there was some thought that they were doing pretty good, but then this night practice happened and they struggled. Alexander Madison is questionable right now. Ty Chandler showing out pretty good. We apparently signed an XFL star, if that's a thing, if there is such thing as an XFL star. At running back, probably because of Kenny Nwangu, Madison being a little dinged up. Wide receiver, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, KJ Osborne. That's our three right now. Jalen Reagor, apparently he looked okay, but he's looking like a cut, right? Brandon Powell apparently is outshining him. That's why we got him. That's why we got him. Jalen Naylor, he's our number 4 and maybe our number 3 next year. Tristan Jackson, they were talk that he might get the 5 spot. Thayer Thomas is standing out. Everybody else is really not. We're talking about tight end. Obviously, it's Josh Oliver, TJ Hawkinson. People are just talking about Josh Oliver. Big pickup, guys. That's a diamond in the rough for us, man. Johnny Munn apparently outperforming Nick Muse. Not a shock there. I did kind of have hopes for Nick Muse, but Johnny Muntz, the pro, he's the veteran. He's looking better, and he for a third tight end, not bad to have. He caught a touchdown last year. CJ Ham apparently had a pretty big screenplay. Obviously, I love his catching ability. He's a good weapon when you do that fake handoff. He goes out into the flat and you just dump it to him on a blitz. He sneaks out of the backfield and he gets that short yardage. Apparently, where they were blitzing CJ Ham, just got behind him, big play. Obviously, left tackle. Oh, the line left tackle Christian Darris, left guard Ezra Cleveland, Garrett Bradbury at center, Ed Ingram right guard, right tackle Brian O'Neill. Who knows whether or not we bring in Dalton Reisner? Still a opportunity. There's really not a lot of talk about the offensive line this year. Not a lot of talk about it. So could be good, could be bad. Last night apparently wasn't so great, but that's more of a protection thing because people are coming unblocked. People are coming unblocked. They got to figure it out. They just got to figure it out. It was a good night. Let's see if it repeats itself on Tuesday. Then if it does the same. Maybe we got to worry about this offensive scheme, at least blocking. Now defense. ESPN's got Dean Lowry as a starting left defensive end. But hey, Kyrus Tonga, Harrison Phillips, Daniil Hunter, obviously. Now this linebacker crew: Brian Asamoah, Troy Dye, Ivan Pace Jr. Someone I don't know. I didn't hear anything about Troy Reader, but the fact that Ivan Pace Jr. and Brian Asamoah are looking pretty good. Jordan Hicks is just Jordan Hicks. He's a solid player. A guy that stood out a little bit in last practice was Sezi Atamawo, so that's pretty good. Andrew Wood Jr. just injured all the time. I'm even losing faith in him, and I was high on him. Harrison Smith, obviously standing out, man. He's loving this. Where have you been all my life? He's probably saying about Brian Flores. He's loving life right now. Give me another year with Harrison Smith. Let him play till he's 40. All right. Cameron Bynum. I think it's Metellus Lewisine and Harrison Smith. Jay Ward stood out yesterday, apparently. That is great. Theo Jackson apparently had that pick 6. I think it was Theo Jackson. Cameron Bynum plays deep safety. He's not towards the line, so he's not going to make any flashy plays. But Harrison Smith and Metellus and Lewisine are a good group. But hey, Jay Ward apparently looked good last night. Apparently Byron Murphy Jr. is looking legit, and he's our number 1 guy. He was solid. Apparently Caleb Evans is looking okay. The guy that's making waves is Mekhi Blackman, winning that job. Apparently Byron Murphy and maybe playing nickel. I don't know that for sure. I probably have to go rewatch some of the videos that I did because they talked about Mekhi Blackman. And but hey, Murphy, Evans, Mekhi Blackman, I'll take it. I like those guys. I'm pretty happy with it. Joe Jawan Williams made waves early, but now has been burned a few times. So a little worried about him. Maybe he's just a backup. Maybe he's a backup. He's a taller guy, so maybe a red zone looks, but open field, not strong. Not strong at all, I don't think. But hey, that's the night practice. If you're watching this video, I'm also bringing on Tanishka, who actually was at the practice. We're going to do a video together, and I'm going to ask her about it, see if all this is true. But hey, the couple videos I did watch, they kind of reinforced each other. So I gave you what I learned just so you don't have to watch them because I watched them. All right, Skull Vikings. Look out for in my next giveaway. The last one, pretty good, man. You pumped that video up. Got a lot of subscribers out of it. I appreciate it. You guys are the winners. Thank you. Cue the music.